It's me, Lynn Rene MacDonald, here for 6 and 12 Medical Intuitive every Friday night at 7:15, coming to you live from Virginia Beach, Virginia. We have a live studio here, live studio audience, so you're all welcome to come here, as well as we do it live here on Facebook. And every Friday night, we talk about what is the best health solutions, gifts, tools, anything you want to know about from higher knowing of love or God or universe. That's what this show is about. Hi, Sophia. I'm going to give it a few minutes till everybody comes on. We're sitting here and we're saging right now, and we're preparing for the show tonight. Oh, I think I see somebody here. Hey, is that Teresa? Hi, Teresa. I see people popping up. Great, terrific. Thanks for coming, everybody. All right. I think Nikki's there too. Mm-hmm. Sophia just came in. Thanks for coming. So thanks everybody for supporting what we do. Share it, share it, share it. Together we change the world from love. So this show is about anything you want to know about having to do with anything that has to do with health, medical health, physical health, which a lot of people might think is the same thing, right? Variations of that, everything from mental health, drug addiction, why somebody passed away, why is somebody that you know that you love having health issues? What's going on with your pet? Is it a behavioral issue? Is it a health issue? So tonight's show is all about talking to love energy, working with God or love, and doing all of this that we teach. Hi, everybody. I see everybody coming on. Great to see you all. Thank you so much for coming. All right. I think we're doing fantastic with our shows. Tonight, again, it's 6 and 12 Medical Intuitive. This show is about all those great questions that you have for your best health, your best gifts, tools, wisdom across the board from love energy, God, which is what we do and speak and teach on all of our shows. Tonight we have Jennifer again with us, Sophia over here, and Rachel, who are all my assistants, as well as disciples of what we do, right? Work with love energy, work with God. That's what we do. Okay, so that said, tonight we're going to talk about lots of cool stuff. We got a lot of gifts and tools. Last week we ended talking about some books really quickly. I kind of threw out the books out there, so we'll be bringing that up today. We will be answering your questions. So if you have any health issues or things you need assistance with, please, this is where we share wisdom from highest knowing of love, right? So that you can have the best solutions here, physically, mentally, and in all ways for your best health, okay? This is what the show is about. It's every Friday at 7:15. Also, donations. If you guys can send donations, by all means do. We do them PayPal and Venmo, as well as here at the Shoppe and Center. You can send it through traditional mail as well. And also share what we do. If you think there's people who you can connect with, but don't do anything unless you feel it truly from your heart. Everything from purest form of love without resentment. That's what we do and teach, and this is what universe is guiding me to share with you. So when you send stuff to us and help us, do everything from your heart, because that's the best way to do things from love, okay? Okay, that said, we got the books. We got your questions. We're going to see if we have any questions from last week. And then I have some news stories. You know we always got news stories, right? Some really cool shit because, again, it's 6 and 12 Medical Intuitive. Why is it that? Because 6th house and 12th house in astrology are your major houses of what? Health, right? Okay, and that has everything to do with your soul, your mental health, your physical health, and all health. Okay, so that said, that's our primary focus here in the show is health. So bring your questions and anything you want to share with your wisdom, please do, from love, guided from higher knowing, by all means. We'll get to the bottom of anything and everything you want to get to the bottom of or know about or ask. If you need a solution, let's say something holistic, or if you want to know who's the best doctor for you, or you have 2 different doctors for your mother and you don't know which one you should send her to, or anything having to do with health, both in Saturn's earth world and all that is metaphysical, that is God, that is love, is where we get these answers for you. Okay, so that said, I got my tea tonight, my hibiscus peach tea. It's fantastic for multiple different health purposes and reasons. We've talked about it many times before. Two of the primary things it does, it helps to what is the word? It helps you with your blood pressure, as well as it's a natural diuretic. However, you do have to drink a lot of water with it. Just like when you take vitamin C, if you're beefing up your vitamin C, you want to make sure you drink plenty of water, okay? Because I have had some people who got on the tea or started using the tea as assistance for different medical purposes, right? Or healthcare reasons. Hi, Matt. And they didn't drink enough water, and then that has a propensity to bring bigger health problems. So we got to be aware of what we're doing, right? And the side effects, and we have to do the research and be sure with God or love. So we ask and we shall receive, so we get the best answers, the best knowing. If we don't know, and you can always back things up. If you don't know, please PM us. We will get back to you as soon as you can. I have many, many health clients and many, many clients across the board. When they have a crisis in their life, they're not that I recommend you do this all the time or anything, but you know what? The new world is about being there for each other. So when I have somebody who wakes up at 3 a.m. and their kid can't breathe, right? And it's 3 a.m. and they have a medical condition, I tell them, call me. Because this is the new world. We help each other. Right? And if you don't know if you should, ask love if you should. Ask God if you should. Because this way, you can back up as you learn and grow with your inner knowing that is all that is God, and you get more validation from an authentic source of love. And how do you know if I'm authentic or what we do is authentic? By what you feel in your heart, and you ask. Ask love. Ask God, and we will assist you in any way we can, because this is how the new world is. We are here to help each other. Okay, so that said, okay, it's really important that you guys know this, because these are the changes that must come from in this earth world. We help each other. If you go out there today, it's crazy. Everybody's about, you owe me this, and I can't do this for you, and too bad for you, and fuck off. That's how they all are. Not all of them, but that's how the darkness is operating the world today. So it is our jobs to go out there and say, hey, higher knowing knows that, let's say, my friend or my client who has a little kid who's 4 years old, a little boy, and he has a hard time breathing, and if she'll PM me in the middle of the night, and I can say, well, you have to pay me, so let me have your credit card, and then we'll talk about it. What doctor do you know is available? Yeah, they have emergency things and stuff, but this is about the new world. More often than not, I've been to doctors, and once you get out of their office, they don't give a shit about you. They don't. Yeah, but the new world is authentically balancing everything with love energy that is God, because people will say to me, oh, you give too much, Lynn, and you shouldn't be doing this, and you shouldn't be doing that. But every single thing that I do is guided by higher knowing that is love. This is what my soul came in here to do. This is what I teach. So if I am getting governed to assist you, there's a reason for that. But this is where the new world is going. It's not, too bad you don't feel well now, see me next week on our appointment. It's not like that. Because the truth of God and love is we're changing to the new world from love. And we set the bar. We set the example. And so this show is here designed to help you best be your best health advocate, as well as get the best solutions, as well as learn to work with God and love, so that you can always know when you need to see an earth world doctor, when you can do different kinds of natural medicines or look into them, right? And have the options to use these tools and gifts. That's what this program is about, as well as it's about a humanitarian mission. It's about us helping people from love. It's about us helping each other from love, which is why I say, if you know different kinds of natural medicines, right, to assist the people with, like we talked about dandelion, we talked about, what's that one, liver cleanse, milk thistle, right? And then we talk about some other things, homeopathic medicines, homeopathic remedies, okay? We talk about stuff like that. If you have things that you want to share, please do. But ask universe. Make sure that you have your stuff together, and we work together from love to share the best wisdom for all. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, cool as shit, right? Okay, so that said, if you got a problem or you're not sure, or you don't know how to do something, please, by all means, I will help you, but ask love. Ask love what to do, because this is what we do and teach here. We work with love. This is the way of the new world, being in your heart. Whether it's on this show for medical stuff, medical meaning anything and everything health, right? Whether it's me, your dog, whoever, right? Mental, physical, spiritual, whatever health. Okay, this show is all about that, and working with love and working with God, and to teach you how to do this kind of work for you. Work with love for your greatest life. Just like our other shows, 7:15 Wednesday night, The Right Thing. How do you do the right thing from love? How do you even know what that is in a world of Neptune and Pisces that's gone totally berserk, right? And a world of darkness at the same time, right? How do you know? And then Sunday nights, live talk forum, open forum for all your questions, metaphysical, earth world rules, anything and everything. Wednesday night is for solutions. Wednesday night is for understanding of what's going on in the world and how what's the God's honest truth from love for everything and anything that's going on Wednesday night. And Sunday is your open forums. All these shows are at 7:15 Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And you all know that, right? And thank you all for coming. Great. Thank you so much. I'm so happy you're all here. Thank you. All right. And thanks, Maddie. Good to see you for coming. And I'm going to ask Rachel and Jen. Rachel, do we have any questions for tonight? We're going to start with our questions.
We have none from last week. I don't know if I told you that already.
We have what?
None from last week. But for tonight, the first one up is Kimberly Lactierzo.
Okay.
And she's asking what
Hi, Kimberly.
Opinion is.
Hi, Kim.
She's asking what your opinion is on the COVID shots.
Okay, so what we do on this show, because the C word, I already got 2 of my YouTubes taken down, and they already threatened to take down my page because it's, it's the same shit. It's just a different way of what they're doing. So how do I feel about those? I think most of the time, many of you already know how I feel about those. But for the purpose of this, we're going to call that the inoculations. It's an old world word my father used to use, just like when he used to talk about the hospital back when he used to be in the army, he would call it the infirmary, right? Yeah, so these are old world words that will not necessarily flag on this new age technology. Pretty cool shit, right? Yeah, wisdom trumps everything. So I said to God, how do I speak these things so that we can change this? What do we do here, God? Give me the best solutions, the best of everything. Boom, new words to speak. Thanks, God. Thanks, right? Okay, so she says, how do I feel? Kimberly says, how do I feel about it? I totally do not endorse it in any way, shape, or form. It's all part of the grand big plan for destruction of all that is love energy here on Earth. And this is all part of that. This is truly how I feel. This is what I know to be true in my heart. And for everybody who worries and doesn't believe that or doesn't want to believe that or disconnects from it or wants to buy into the propaganda or can't let go of your old world beliefs or can't even deal with it, right? That's okay. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to guide you from highest knowing of love, because this is what universe, God, love tells me. It doesn't mean that if you did, let me see, just here a minute. I have my tissues. Doesn't mean, right? Doesn't mean if you happen to get it or get several of them, which I would hope that you don't, right? But we all have to make our own best health choices for us. It is an individual soul choice, clearly, but it is designed from love energy that is God. Okay, it is all part of the grand design to create the changes that must happen here on this planet, in this dimension, in Earth world, and the darkness is the source behind this. But there is a higher knowing plan here, and this plan is so that it will change the family lineage lines here to higher knowing of love. In other words, the people who cannot do their work will choose to get inoculated to check out, to exit the planet, as well as to facilitate the end of family lineages in Earth world physical manifestation, so that when they recycle around and they choose to come back to Earth world, they will be in a different higher vibrational family lineage. So what will happen is their souls will come in and be able to do the work that they couldn't do in this life or couldn't handle, right? So, but again, it's all about being responsible for our stuff, our soul's destiny, what we choose to do here in the collective world for our legacy, for ourselves on a personal level. And there's no wrong choice here. It's just your calling in this life, what you choose to do, what is best for you. So many people are going to be getting inoculated and have, and many are not. So, and it's bringing in huge challenges. And then there's people in the middle who sort of did it, who are in between, who are changing their minds, who are trying to decide where they're going to go. Are they staying or going? As well as super advanced love energy healers that have come in here to heal these things in themselves so they can help heal the people who are in the middle here who choose to stay. Because right now we have a world division, and it's not going to get any, let's say, what is the word I'm looking for? It's not going to become any less divided quickly and into the future. Saturn's Earth world takes a lot of time. It takes time for this stuff to manifest. Okay, so, but this is all part of the grand plan that is God. So you must follow your heart. And I think I told you this story before. I had a person who was my one of my closest friends. In fact, he was one of my exes. We were married. He's a dear friend to me now. I've known him since I was 13 years old. And he has worked with me for a really long time. And I love him. I fucking love him. He helps us out. Sometimes he sends us money. He's always, always so generous and so gracious. And he's been that way since I've been a single mom for 20 years with 2 little girls. You know, he's been incredible. And he's just such a loving, warm soul. And he's been with me. You know, we've been together, like all of us, for lifetimes, right? Our family connections, our personal connections, and all of our connections are with soul families and for lifetimes. Neat shit, right? So this gentleman who is my friend, he was working with me. You know, he got on the path. It took him a while to get on the path. He decided to work with me, and even though we used to be married, we're you know, I consider him one of my best friends. And in my people space, there have been many times I've cried on his shoulder, you know, because that's how life is, especially in these times with these rough times. And so, you know, I love him. He's my friend. But I also am able to remove myself in the healthiest, best way by working with God in love to help him and assist him spiritually. How do I do that? How this works is I ask God, and we work together just like on normal appointments like I do with everybody else, right? Normal appointment times, God speak through me, best solutions, best gifts, best tools from love. Everything we need to know, God's honest truth, everything, just like we do on the show, just like I do on the show, like I do with everything in my life. And whenever I don't, I usually trip up and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, thanks God, you know, for reminding me, you know. Okay. That said, this gentleman said to me, he was working with me, he started working with me, and then he hid from me because he knew we've been friends for a really long time. And he knew that I was not into anybody getting inoculated. And so he secretly did it behind my back, and I felt the energy, and I knew it wasn't right. And I kind of knew, you know, that he got the shot. But I can't be like, hey, da-da-da-da-da-da. And I don't want to condemn him. That's the reason he didn't tell me, because he felt terrible that he made this choice. He knew it wasn't going to go with what I felt in my heart, by higher guided and knowing from love energy. He knew that I wasn't going to agree with that. So, and this is what's happening for so many of us. You know, the people that we love are doing it, but they're not sharing it and they're not telling us. And that's because they don't want to hurt our feelings, right? They don't want to upset us. They don't want to deal with it if we have an argument or a disagreement, or they don't want to be judged, right? So this is all those people, feelings, and emotions of our stuff that comes out with all of this that we're all going through. And so when he did that, I was like, why, man? I said, why did you do this? And I was crying on the phone. I was like, fuck. And I was crying because I love him so much. And I know that he has chosen to leave the planet by doing this. And I said, okay, God, I got to pull myself together. And I said, so-and-so. I said, why? I said, why didn't you pray on this? I said, did you talk to God about this? And he said to me, that's just it, Lynn. I did everything you teach me. And I went, couldn't fucking believe it. But that was a huge learning for me. Like I said, I'm always fucking learning too, man. Always learning. While at the same time he broke my heart, in that moment, I realized and knew, and this was a massive gift for me, to realize that I can't stop everybody from doing this, and everybody has their own destiny, their own journey, their own wisdom, and they must follow their hearts for what they came to do. And I knew in that moment he had enough of this planet. He didn't want to be here anymore. He had gotten 2 of them, okay? And I said to him, he said, that's just it. I did ask God, and this was the answer I got. And I said to him, He said, I did everything you teach, Lynn. And I said, okay. But that doesn't stop me from being sad or crying and grieving. And we're all going through variations of this kind of stuff in this reality with what has happened. He is not able to see in the way that I can see. And I have to let him be him from love, right? I can only guide him and say to him and say, I love you, man. And that's what I said to him. And guide him in the best way from love. If he comes to me and we're close and we have a personal relationship, right? I can only guide him from love in the best way that I know how. But in the end, just like you guys, we are all our own best health advocates, and we must make those choices for ourselves. And we all have different destinies, different journeys, different karmas, different everything. So I will tell you the God's honest truth always, but ultimately, the God's honest truth may not be able what we be able to be what we can do in our souls with what we got going on in here. And so we must come from love and honor each other and let them make those choices. Hard stuff, really hard stuff. I still love him. We talk all the time. We talk once a week. Our relationship has definitely changed because this physical stuff that is happening with this has changed everything. Has changed the healthcare world, has changed everything. Everything from their mental ability, their soul connection, their God connection, because as time goes on, they're less and less and less connected to their hearts. I've had some people, I feel their soul break into pieces. Devastating stuff. I had clients who were in one moment this way and made that choice and became super toxic in other ways, quit working with me, didn't pay me, and that's okay in terms of I know why this happened, and I know that is higher learning, and I know that it is God teaching me from love, right? When people don't pay me and why they do what they do and who they hook up and tells me the God's honest truth about them in the space of God that they're in, all because we all have these big, beautiful hearts, and we all have the ability to be in high-end love energy consciousness, Christ consciousness and beyond. Does not mean we have done the work, does not mean that we can do it in all that it is or all the time. So this is our challenges as people in this earth world reality, is balancing working with God. What's the God's honest truth here? And knowing by what people say and what people do and reading their energy what the truth is about their actions and all that they are right here in earth world, and by working with God for those answers, working with love for those answers. So the truth is I do not endorse it. The truth is, I want everybody to follow their hearts because we have different callings for our souls. And at any moment, the soul is amazing. It has the free will and magic of love and all that is God. But not everybody is in that authentic heart space and is able to do it because there's so much pain on this planet, so much suffering, so much darkness. This is why I say that so many people who have received the inoculations become agents of darkness because they are disconnected from their highest heart selves and their souls. Only like a 2 to 3% connection. And the most high-end spiritual beings are the ones that are going to be able to power through it with the magical gifts of their souls. Make no mistake. I have many clients who are still those people. And they have stopped getting the inoculations because they get it, right? But for multiple, various different reasons, they each have different journeys here to be master healers, just like we do, if we choose that. Whatever it is that we choose for our journey here in Earth World. We all have journeys for our own souls. Absolutely. So, gotta have some of my tea. It is complex. It is really, really, really complex, and it is absolutely heartbreaking. But you will see the differences. Just like my friend who is my ex, who is one of my best friends since I was 13 years old, man. And the fact that he couldn't feel open enough or trust me and realize the kind of person that I am is sad within itself, but it tells me of the deficits that he has in his heart. And this is why people do these things, because they're broken in here. And unless we change this, we're going to be hard pressed to change this, because everything in here manifests out here, be it in our physical health or however that is. And thanks, Kimberly, for this question, because it's a really great question. And I know I've talked about it in bits and pieces on and off as we go into different things and answer different things, but it helps everybody understand multiple sides of this, of what's going on here. It's definitely designed to destroy humanity. Absolutely. They have like a 10-year plan every 3 years. With every inoculation, it's minus 3 years, minus 3 years, minus 3 years. So, but it's the people who are in the middle between the inoculated and the people who are not inoculated, right? It's these people in the middle who will make some big decisions, and in the not inoculated will then or whoever so chooses, higher beings of love, we become people with their gifts of love energy, magic, who will be the agents to change this world from love and be master healers. And that's why so many of these people have chosen to get the shot or chosen to get inoculated. And the same is true with the people who are in the middle. Their souls are deciding, because the world is divided. It has the inoculated and the non, and then you have all the people in here who sort of did it, right, or aren't sure about it. And if you're natural medicine, working with God, working with love, working with highest knowing of love is how we will be able to and will be healing the people. We're working on these solutions right now because the medical field and the medical world is at a massive deficit for this. And they're not acknowledging it, just like they don't acknowledge multiple kinds of disorders and sicknesses. If you're not dying of something massive, and you're really sick, or they can't see it, you can't really get help today. It's really a fucking nightmare, right? Now, there's a lot of good people, but I'm sure you can talk to multiple people, if not through your own experiences, the deficits that we have in Earth World Healthcare. And this is all happening through what is happening in the stars. Great transformation, Pluto and Capricorn, all right? Then you have Saturn in Aquarius. You have Neptune in Pisces. You have Uranus in Taurus. You have massive transformational placements happening in the world, in the sky, in the universe, in all that is God, that are the catalysts for the destruction and the tearing it up. So while the darkness thinks they have this, by all means know this, that God knows exactly and is everything that is going on, and it is all part of the grand plan and grand design, and it's a master chess game. It's really incredible stuff, and we can learn so much from it. It's like fucking fascinating. Incredible stuff. So that said, I hope that answers your question. And the sad part is too, which I want to talk about, a lot of what I'm seeing happening. I can feel people's soul shatter. I can feel that they're completely different people. So remember this, more often than not, the people that you once knew, once they do this whole regimen of inoculations and all that stuff that is related to that includes, the testing over and over and all the toxins that they got going on over here with this, all right? These people, what? Change. They're not the people you knew. So give yourself time in your human space to grieve, to cry, to be sad, and let your emotions release. Pray on it. Ask God for the best tools for you to go through this process, because we're all going through it. I know so many people whose whole families have been inoculated and they're not. All right, as well as half their families, part of their families, and then the families go to battle. Oh, you can't come to my house to the holidays because you didn't get the shot, or you can't see the grandchildren because you didn't get inoculated. All this stuff is what I'm talking about, that we're all going through. Massive, massive challenges. But what is it designed to do? It's designed to divide us all, divide all of us, all of us. That's not what love does. Not what love does. But this is part of the grand plan to destroy everything. And the darkness is going to try to take over here. No. We got this. We got this. And this is why we're doing these shows, man. It's about working with love. Because if you got the power of love, you got all the fucking power. All the fucking power. Don't think for a second darkness doesn't know that either. All right? And when we come together, we all change the world. Right? Because when you have this and you have positive, healthy self-love and are working on this, right? This, again, you have all the power, and you will never fold like these world governments. You will never fold. Why? People come in here and they'll be like, Lynn, and they feed me some kind of bullshit. I'm like, no, absolutely not. That's not truth of God. Over and over, my life has been about these challenges over and over. This is my destiny. This is your destiny too, man. When you love yourself in the healthiest, best way, nobody can shit on you. Nobody. And when things don't work out in the way that you think, what do? I bring it to God. Okay, God, what the hell happened here? What's the God's honest truth? What in here do I need to know about that created this to happen? Is this part of my destiny? Is this stuff that I have to heal and clear and change in me? But always, it's never at the deficit as before I worked with love or God, ever. Not even close. Not even close. This miserable that I had and the person that I was when I came in is so removed from this guy that I am now that works with God and love all the time. What a massive gift. This is why I do this work. Why? I don't want to suffer. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to be miserable. And I want to share these gifts with you because it sucks to be sick. It sucks to suffer. It sucks when you can't have your dreams. It sucks when you got nothing. How do I know that? Because I live it or lived it in Earth world. Not just in this world, in lifetimes. That's why we're all here. We all got variations of what I'm talking about. We all came in here to do this work together. So thanks for listening. Thanks for letting me share this. You all, I'm sure, are feeling all this and seeing this, but remember this. There's going to be cognitive deficits in the people out here, behavioral deficits. We're seeing it in the driving that people do. I leave plenty of space between the cars, and people may say, well, what does this have to do with my health? It has everything to do with your health. If you don't leave space in between cars and you're in a crowd mentality and these people get nasty, I'm riding my fucking Jeep over the divider. I'm riding my Jeep over your fucking car, and I'm riding the fuck over you if I have to save my family and myself. So I'm going to make sure I got a plan with God, and I'm not shitting you, because if it comes to these times, this is where I'm at in my soul from love for me. Because just like that lion, I'm not kidding. I'm not fucking playing. So don't fuck with me. That's it.
Kimberly says, yeah.
Yeah. That's right. And that's for all of us. When you love yourself in the healthiest, best way, you're not going to allow this darkness. You're going to say, okay, God, what do I do? So they've showed me all this stuff to share with you guys, like leaving that space, making sure you're away from the center of the road, because I can't tell you how many times I intuit drive all the time. Intuit drive, right? I'm always reading and know what people are going to do before they even do it. I can feel that energy, and you guys can too. You feel when somebody's heading right for you with their car. Sometimes I'll move my car. They'll be going like this. I'll move my car over here, crazy shit, because I know that they're coming. And then all of a sudden, I feel those people who've been inoculated, and all of a sudden, they like wake up at the last minute and stay on their side of the road. And I'm like, holy fuck. And this hasn't happened once to me. This has happened dozens of times. So pray when you go out there, because accidents are fucking real, right? Because people are at a deficit, and they do not really understand, both scientifically and here in Earth world vibration and the massive collective, they do not understand how God connected they are in their hearts to everything that is God. That is your intuition, that is your inner knowing, that is your common sense, that is your ideas, that is your greatest gifts and tools that help and assist you. And people have no idea. They think that I'm just a person and I thought of that. No, not even close. And what has happened in the world with the inoculations and what's going on and the effects in everybody's health and all, mental, physical, spiritual, all of it, is going to show you the truth of this in your reality. I mean, I can't tell you. I see people like walking around like they're tweaking, right? And now some of them may be, right? Like on drugs and shit, but they're like in the middle of the road, cars that are like jerking down the road in their cars. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Cars that cross over from 5 lanes right in front of traffic. And I'm like, holy shit. And this isn't just once in a while. This is like on a continuous basis, and it's not going to get any better. Right? So, again, this is why you work with God or work with love. You protect yourself. You can work with earth world tools like stones, right? Stones of protection, as well as talk to love, talk to God, ask the angels to protect you, ask the angels to bring you wherever you need to go safely, and that you return safely in the best condition from love with everything that you have, and including your vehicle, right? From love. So you have the power. Again, this is why this is all the power, because you can work with love for anything and everything all of the time. And universe will show you how to handle everything. Just like I said, I leave all this room between my Jeep or my car, right, and other people. In fact, I'm thinking about trading in my one car to get another Jeep, because I want a truck for these times, because a truck is going to help me ride over things that I can't ride over in a really low rider car. Do you see? Yeah. So there's a lot of great things. Now, not everybody needs to do this. You feel in your heart, again, what is best for you. Ask and you shall receive. Talk to God. Talk to love. And this is where all your answers are. Yeah, for all of us. And my answer may be different from yours, but it will all be in alignment with love. And no matter what, if we all do this, there'll be no wrong. There'll be no toxic, because it all fits in the grand design of everything that is love, that is God, because that's how it works. You can't think of this stuff, people. You can't. It happens. It is. It is this, right? Ask, love, best solutions, best protection, best gifts, best tools, whatever I'm doing, for wherever I am. Everywhere in my life, on the show, everywhere, and I trust and know, right, with love energy, and I validate everything with love, especially if I'm new to this. Ask love. What do I do, God? What's the God's honest truth? How I need the best solutions for this over here. How do I handle traffic? How do I handle this, right? Whenever I'm in a sticky situation, thanks, love, for speaking through me. Thanks, love, for handling this now, please. Thanks, love. Jesus, take the wheel. There's so many different ways to do this from love. Okay? All right. That said, I hope that answers your question, Kimberly. And it was good that we talked about this, because we're all going through all kinds of psychological challenges. Challenges in our souls, challenges in our mental state, challenges in our physical bodies, in our health, with all that is happening here in the world today, with this great transformation that has been called in by highest knowing, while the darkness thinks it's got one up on God. Nah. Can't fool God. Can't fool God, motherfuckers. God, thank you, God, for that, right? Okay, so that said, who else has some questions?
So Nikki is wondering about Chapstick. She recently discovered that Chapstick is made by Pfizer, and she's concerned because Pfizer also makes one of the inoculations.
Ooh,
so
Nikki.
She wants to know, should she discard all of her Chapstick?
What this comes down to, Nikki, is how old is that chapstick? How long ago did you buy it, right? It's kind of like, I had a client who gave me a beautiful gift for Mother's Day. She gave me a Whole Foods gift card. And thank you, because I love her. Thank you, Bailey. And so we ended up going to Whole Foods, but I'm apprehensive about Whole Foods, and let me tell you why. Because guess who just bought Whole Foods? This is what a lot of people don't know, is that every company out here is owned by only like 4 or 5 major companies, of these big, huge, massive companies that are controlling, that are owned by the darkness, that are controlling the world, and those are the big political figures. And I've talked about this in other shows, right? So you are right to ask about stuff like this. Very right, Nikki. Be aware. Ask God. Ask love. Right now, I feel like your chapsticks are fine, but I would definitely look at the labels, find out, do your homework. Just like when you read stuff on packages, what's in there? What's really in there? Because they disguise it with all different kinds of names, right? 15 different names for something really toxic like MSG. Anybody know about MSG? Monosodium glutamate. It fucks me up if I take that, right? Or I get that in my Chinese food or in soy sauce, right? Cannot have it. Makes me really, really sick. There's multiple reasons for that, which we'll talk about another day. However, we have to be aware, just like that, of what's going on. Because if I eat some of that, or certain nitrates, sodium nitrates, or chemicals, it puts me down for days with migraine headaches, vomiting, stroke symptoms. This is no fucking joke. And if this stuff does that, what else are they doing? What else is out there? Do you see what I'm saying? This is serious stuff that now more than ever we have to pay attention to. And I'm glad you said that, Nikki, because that's going to be a theme that I'm going to talk about in our show probably tonight. And if not tonight, next week, or it will come in as when highest knowing of God or love guides us to it. So, because we are totally being poisoned by everything that's going on in the world. And this has been happening for years. Just like the secret laws the governments have been passing, right? When you're not looking, meanwhile, while you're looking at the Met Gala, or society's looking at the Met Gala, they're over here passing laws and shit that are completely toxic, completely fucked up, and nobody knows about it. And then they go, oh yeah, that's a law on the books. But you know in your heart that's not the right thing from love. So in the future, there's going to be great events coming because of this. Great events. Huge earth world events, right? Because in the end, if it's not right from love, it's not going down. And at some point, don't mark my words, the people are going to have enough in physical earth world. It's already happening. People are standing up. They're stepping up. They're doing their best, just like we are, all of us, to do the right thing from love, to teach people the right thing. Yeah. And so this is happening. So, Nikki, I feel like the chapstick you have right now is okay, but that's something to be aware of in the future. But also look and see what's in that chapstick. There's other alternatives. And so in time, I might throw it out. It doesn't feel like it's an urgency right now. Asking Spirit, asking love, asking God. Right now, there is Young Living makes a great chapstick, even though me and them are in a fight right now. Okay? Many of you know about that. I don't really give a shit. But I won't allow anybody to tell me what I can do with my freedoms. And that's what love does. And that's what talking to God does. And as we all get on this path and keep doing this work, this will happen more and more and more. It's how we raise the vibration of the planet. And then none of this becomes acceptable anymore. And then all the solutions from love keep pouring in. All the most amazing, incredible solutions where everyone says, well, if we do this, we can't do this. No. Love knows already what should be done. Love knows. And all these answers will come in, and this is how it's really going to work. But back to the chapstick, Young Living, I'm sure doTERRA probably makes something like that. Holistic places, again, though, will be aware of holistic places like Whole Foods, right? And the stuff that they spray on stuff, like your foods and all, the chemicals that they put in it. Ask God, ask love to see the God's honest truth, to know what's in it, to know if this is what's best for you. But those are some really great alternatives. Plus, there's, I know we have some at our shop that people have made homemade stuff on their own. So you can also, there's a lot of holistic people who are starting to make these products. It's kind of like we're going back in time, like what do you call that? Apothecary, where we make our own stuff. Like we do it at our shop as well. At our Shoppe and Center, we have all kinds of vitamins, minerals, herbs, natural and holistic stuff like chapstick to help you. You don't have to get it from here. You can get it anywhere you want. Oh, but by the way, we do ship. Okay, so you could call in order if you want to help support us. That would be great. But nothing you do without, again, feeling it in your heart. Okay, so Nikki, that's what I'm picking up on. I feel like it's okay. Take a look at what's really in chapstick. Okay, because there's the demons. But yeah, into the future, we're going to have to watch what they're going to do with our water, what they're doing with our food. Same thing with our meats. It's already happening. Think about Monsanto. Think about all these things. And when I say Monsanto, right, think about DuPont, how all the ways throughout time in the 70s that these companies, and do your homework, do your research, chemicals. What is Monsanto? That plant food or something? Yeah. That's one of the things that they have, chemicals and stuff. Think about, and do your research on everything that I'm saying. Always, 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 always talk to God first and ask the universe to show you the God's honest truth in your reality so that you have all the information you need to back it up. Like when people say to me, where's your science? Here's my fucking science, asshole. It's right here. It's right here. There's my science. Now, it doesn't mean that I hate all science and I'm against all science. I'm all for science. I'm all for everything that is love from highest knowing of God in your intent. Absolutely. Where your heart is where the best science, the best of everything comes from in this world and everywhere and in all that is. Okay? So, there's your answer, Nikki. I hope that gives you a new plan from God and universe for where to go from here, girl. All right. Go ahead.
Sarah Sutra is next. She's asking for some help. She's lost a lot of friends over the COVID thing.
Oh, yeah.
She said that she's had to let them go. Now it seems like she's all alone. I can't seem to meet my soul tribe. All I keep getting are whacked out people wanting to hook up with me. I guess she's having a hard time and feeling lonely.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm sorry. And we're all going through variations of this. I can't tell you, I've lost lots of clients. And the problem is, I have such a big fucking heart, as we all do, that we fall in love with these people. And then, even though I can work separately, I can keep my work separate from the love that I feel from them and my friendship, right? Because I'm always guided by higher knowing. So I'm able to balance these things. And that's also a Libra thing. In a healthy space of Libra, balance. All right, being able to adjust, being able to do these things, being able to be, and then Aquarius, detached or removed, or be able to put this over here in the healthiest, best way. Okay, so that said, we're all going through this, girl, so I totally, totally feel for you. Give yourself time to grieve. It's really hard. But know this, right here on our show, we are your soul family. You always have a soul family. We are this soul family, all of us, and it's all over the world, and you will know, because like sometimes I get people who call me, who send me messages messages from Germany out of the blue, or messages from, California or San Diego, or, where is that? India, Africa. All right. So what happens is your soul in these times is calling in your people, and you have this right here. Even though this is on the internet, I'm fucking real. We're real people. This is authentic. You can come here in real life, right? So behind all of this, and we have all known each other for lifetimes. We all have each other. We all know each other. Yeah, for lifetimes. Just like when I went out in the world and I said, God, how are the people going to know what I do? I don't have any earth world degrees. I don't have any gifts in God or gifts in psychology, like gifts meaning on paper that says I'm this, or a doctor even. I said, I don't have any of that. None of it. I said, how am I going to do this work? And they said to me, go out there and the people will know. They know who you are from lifetimes. They know what you do from lifetimes. Go. And I was like, okay, in my people space, I'm like, okay, right? But that's the truth. It's the truth. We have known each other from lifetimes, and all of us here, whether we see each other once in a while on the show, whether you come to the show all the time, you can always check in, right? And or come here in person, or in time in the world as things unfold, right? We're going to see where we're all going, but also call them in. Call in those people that are the best people for you in your area, that are your soul family. Thank you, God, for this for Sarah and all of us. All of us. But know that you have this underlying core, a solid security, a stable foundation in your heart from love that is all part of what? All of us. All of us. We're all part of that same high-end consciousness of love that is God. You'll know the ones that aren't for you because they'll be at a deficit. Their energy won't feel right. You'll gravitate away from them. You'll be on different paths, and that's okay. That's okay. Where it's not okay is when our souls keep going back and trying to make those people our people, which I've done. I'm guilty of that totally, because I just want to believe that, I love them and I want them to be my friend and I want them to be my soul family, but they can't be because they're not in the same God space. And that's okay. Doesn't mean that they're bad or that I'm bad or I'm egotistical or I'm an asshole. It just means that a lion and a gazelle are never going to hang out every day together. They're just not, right? A lion's going to at some point going to be hungry. And he's going to either eat the gazelle or the gazelle is going to be afraid and he's going to run away. I mean, because it's all about energy. It's all about energy. So your people will come in. You ask God for these people. You ask love. But know this, that you have this foundation here and on all of our shows. And we do them 3 times a week, God willing, right? And, plus you can come here in person. And that's what's so cool about this and why we do it live and in person. Because we're fucking who we say we are. We're real in a world that's at such a massive deficit. We need to know that Sarah is here for me. Sophia is here for me. They're real people. They're not some kind of fucking bullshit like, where, like Elon Musk, for example, one minute he's kind of like this. The next minute he's kind of like this. The next minute he's at the gala. Just saying. All right. If he's at the gala with everybody at Hollywood, I got to say, whoa, Hollywood is like fucking filled with darkness. Let's just imagine for a moment if that was a Freemason party or a Luciferian one. Just saying. The Met Gala, right? Just saying, right? Why would he be there? Have you looked at Hollywood lately and all the darkness in the world? Crazy, crazy shit. Just something to think about, research, ask God about from love, right? So you know your people. We all know our people. We all know who they are. We feel them, but you have this foundation. And love has all the power. All right. So we ask God for those friends that are best for you, those soul people, their soul family that is best for you from love. And thank you, God, for that for us, for all of us in our local, across the country, in the world, and wherever we are, that we are with those people who are our people from love, whoever they are, right? From love. And that we clear, heal, and change any and all blocks in us that stop that from happening. And we release all feelings in us that stop this from happening as well, all emotions, all energy. Right? We connect to all of this. We release it. We feel it. We clear it. We heal it. We be free of it. And in place of this, and with all this, we put the best way to be from love in the purest form in this reality, any reality, and all that is. And thank you, God, for these gifts now, please, in our souls, and in all we are, be, say, do, and create, and in all that it is, in the best way for us and all or something better. And Thank you, God, for that for us. Yeah. All right, girl. So you got this. We just cleared a whole bunch of shit out, put it out there. Your people are coming. If you ever need a recharge, I get people coming down to our Shoppe and Center from all over the country. They really do. And it's crazy. It's our people who support what we do. Like, and people think, oh, well, it's like a grocery store and people come in there all the time. No. This is a niche business at this point. And so as the world changes, more and more people will be coming, and we'll be probably going out there like I used to, before COVID-19, before all these changes in the world had happened. I used to go and many of you know me from that, going and talking publicly at spiritual events and all different places around the country, all right, and doing personal events as well, all right. But into the future, I have a big feeling that we're going to be doing that again in a variation of the same way, because I'm not sure that it's going to be enough to do this on the internet. And here at our Shoppe and Center, we really got to get it out there. So, but guided by higher knowing. Right now, we're in Mercury Retrograde pre-shadow, and then we have to go through the Mercury Retrograde. And I know that this is for all of our best healing, our best releases, because we also have that eclipse, that new moon eclipse in Taurus, and then we have the full moon Scorpio in Scorpio, man. So we are going through it. Massive, massive healing, massive releases, and massive change, just so you all know, okay? All right, that said, I hope that answers your question. We did a lot of great work on that, and thanks. Okay, who's next?
Lee Mead is next. She said that both her husband and son died unexpectedly, and she's wondering if they have any messages for her.
Yeah, and people would say, oh, well, why would you do medium work on this show? But this is everything about healing. Medium work is all about healing, being able to talk to people who have crossed over. Could you please tell us what their names are? And I'm going to ask universe, love, energy, God, angels to call them in and for the best assistance from love. And thank you for coming. The best gifts, tools, love, energy, magic, everything we need here for love, for Lee and her best healing, gifts, tools, everything. And thanks, Dad, for helping us out here and bringing them in. My dad helps me a lot. He's crossed over too, and he could have never got this in Earth World in this way, but he does now. All right, God, I'm just going to ask for the best cell salt for me right now. They're telling me number 7. 7 it is for me. Because I'm having some stuff going on with my health. You all know I have my own health issues, which helps me share the wisdom that I learn with you, right? And my family, of course, too. Okay, so, all right. What are their names, Jen? Did she say?
Dwayne and Doug.
What is the last name?
The person who wrote the comment was Lee Mead.
Okay. Does she have their birthdays, by chance?
Oh, it's Sarah Sutra's sister. I was wondering if Sarah Sutra started talking about it, and I was like, oh my God, what's going on here?
All right, the first thing that comes in is I see a young boy, he looks like he's almost like 13, okay, so I see him, and I see a young man, and I feel like it's his father. This is the image that I'm getting. This is the image that they're showing me. So this may very well be, I feel like, them multidimensionally showing me themselves right now to best show you and share with you who they are right now, and for multiple reasons, but also to connect with you. I also see a car, something about cars, race car, hot rod cars. I see this with them as well. Now, this can be on multiple different levels and different reasons. The father's name is Dwayne, did you say?
She didn't say which is which.
All right, what are the two names?
Dwayne and Doug.
All right, Dwayne and Doug. Okay, because Dwayne has a father energy, and what's interesting is they both have father and son energy, and I feel like it's from lifetimes. So I feel like it's from lifetimes, multiple lifetimes together, over and over and over and over. I'm just going to ask them what else. They're also telling me, interesting enough, something about spaghetti and meatball dinners. Maybe there was a dinner, Cub Scouts, going to Cub Scouts together as well, being in Cub Scouts, dinners with this, family times. They're telling me a great life. Let me just see. Okay, God. Hold on 1 minute. I'm going to take my clear all this out. I'm going to get my sage out here, and I'm going to tell you more wisdom about them in a minute. They're telling me they're around you all the time. If you sit on the couch and you watch TV, there's like a white couch. It's like almost like a pearl or an off-white. It's not like a bright white, and it feels like it's cloth, what they're showing me. And it has like flower prints on it. It has flower prints, and it has like wooden legs. You may know what they're talking about. You may have had it at some point in your life, and it may be the couch that you have now or a love seat chair, but they're showing me this. And it's almost like a pearlized white kind of cloth. All right. They're saying that they sit with you all the time, on and off, watching television, sitting with you at night. They're around you all the time, like reading a newspaper, watching TV is what's coming in for the father energy. This is why I called in my father an old world man, a really traditional old world man. He is your husband or your son's father. Yeah, because when I get in their energy, yeah, they're telling me Doug is more of the father energy, okay, in this lifetime, but that doesn't mean necessarily that it's literal, and I'm asking about this because it's fascinating. Okay, because they got an energy where it goes back and forth. Did you ever feel like this? Like sometimes the father was the son and the son was the father? Yeah, so you may feel that. And Sarah, if it's her sister, may even have been able to see this because all you guys are so gifted. It's in your family line. It doesn't not work that way, whether you're consciously aware of it or not. Okay, so did she have any answers that she wanted with them? There's also telling me about like a rug, like a square rug or a circular rug. There's some different rugs with shaggy fur in it. And wrestling on the ground, some wrestling going on, fooling around, wrestling. A big bay window in the living room, or a big window, okay? All right, these are all things that they're using to connect with you. There's also something about like transformer type toys, putting things together, Legos, that kind of thing. Creative stuff. Building things, creative stuff. Again, this is a lot of childhood stuff, childhood memories, family memories, because that's what's important. What's important is love. This is all about healing from love. Okay. Did she have anything she wanted to know questions-wise?
She had a comment. I don't know if it popped up for you. She said that I guess they were not biological father and son.
They don't have to be.
But the father pretty much was the father.
That the what?
The father like acted the role as the father. Or
okay.
Her husband acted the role as the father, rather.
Right. All right. But she is, this isn't Sarah talking, this is the Lee. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. And that makes sense because you're the wife, and that's also how you're predisposed to see it. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you want to see what they are telling me here, ask love to see it. Ask love to see it. Ask love to understand it. All right, in Earth World, so you can understand it. I'm just going to ask about that. Yeah, because ultimately he was a father. What's going on?
Rachel was asking me if I was seeing Lee's comments, and I'm not seeing them.
Okay. Sorry. There was a little interruption here between Jen and Rachel, and I was trying to understand what they were saying. I was like, did something go on? We're good, though. All right. Jesus, take the wheel. Clear all this energy out. Give them the gift of seeing all these things here from love and for their best healing now, please. God, do your thing. There's also some kind of game here that are spaghetti strings that are like straws, like plastic straws. There's a game of, I want to say it's almost like pickup sticks or something like that comes in here as well with them. And feel free to let us know if you're connecting with any of these things here.
She's saying a few different things. She said that her husband, after he had crossed over, woke her up one night calling her name, and that he didn't want to live after her son died. That he was like ready to go.
Yeah. And that makes sense because these two have been together for lifetimes. over and over and over and over. So this is why it comes in father, son, son, father, father, son. So they're like Mutt and Jeff, and this is why they come in together. And that would make sense that your husband would cry. I feel like he has... basically, through the process of this lifetime, he has healed this in him. He has healed this in him. So this won't happen again because he realizes the dynamics of what went down here. Like for lifetimes, the two of them came and went and couldn't kind of come and go without each other. So this has gone on for lifetimes, which is why they come in with this energy. But, excuse me. All right. Yeah, this is why they come in with this energy, but also this happened in this way so that they could heal it and come in this lifetime. And you're right. Your husband, he doesn't want to live without the son. But now that he has crossed over, he understands. And this karma is now completed for him. It's now completed. And this was all part of the grand design karmically for them to heal this. And this is, as hard as this is to believe, this is part of our karmic agreements. Right? And it doesn't mean that you're at a deficit of this. Everything is what we believe. This is not about bad things for you. In fact, you had a great family. You had a great family life, and they're telling me this, and they loved you very, very much. They're around you all the time. But it's important for you to know the karma here, between the agreements here between them. And this is something that while it was positive and healthy, and even though they weren't biological, they don't have to be. This is about love from lifetimes, right? What makes a father-son relationship or a partnership of any kind, whether it's a mom-daughter, doesn't mean that it has to be biological. Sometimes our best parents, our best friends, and the best people who love us are not the ones that are in our family that have a biological connection to us. Pretty neat shit. Universe brings us to our true authentic families from love. All right? So it makes sense that that would happen in that way. I'm just asking him. And he's showing me, his hair is curly. It has a little bit of gray in it, and it's like it's actually a cool hair curly. The dad, he's got like curly hair. I feel like not really curly, like a wavy dark hair with a little bit of gray. This is what he's showing me, and he's a decent looking guy, the person that he's showing me. But he's saying family. He was all about family. He's a man's man, all about family, meat and potatoes. Jeans, t-shirts, and flannel shirts, work boots, so this is what comes in with him that he's showing me. This is also why my father went to get him, because my father was this kind of guy, an old world man. Now, it doesn't mean that he didn't dress up or clean up or couldn't and didn't do that kind of stuff for work, but this is what he's showing me. It's like what is at a deficit in the world today is this type of guy for the most part. And we can talk about that too in the future for health reasons on that too. And thanks God for that for us, because that is super important as well. But the truth is that it helps you to know what's going on here from love about their agreement and why he felt like that, because this is about lifetimes. This is about kind of like a love affair where you can't live without the other guy. This is about, how you see people who are married and they can't live without the other person, or they don't stay around for long. This is what this is about. But this is having to literally live this in earth world to release this karma. Tough stuff sometimes. But there is no question that he loves his family. They all love you. There's a happy family element here. It's a very special, sentimental, like Taurus type of family connection. Really, really powerful. Really, really beautiful. I can tell you that most people would love to have a family that was like that, pretty cool shit. That had that warmth, carrying that love. Just, it had great times together. We're there for each other. We're physically, mentally, spiritually there, like there in it, in the now. Very rare thing, very real thing. And he's saying thank you. He's saying it's so special. Both of them are. Both of them are. Anything else, God? Just that we love her. And they want you to know you're doing a great job, and you have a whole new mission now, right? A whole new mission in this world of great and amazing things for you. And it's time for you, is what they're telling me. Good shit. Really good stuff. All right. Many blessings.
She does have one more question. She would like to know, will there be justice for her son's death?
All right. When you say justice, the word that I get is no, because justice depends on what kind of justice you are looking for. Very important question. So thank you for answering that. So justice, not meaning in how, in earth world here, and what's, and this comes into the God's honest truth of the whole story here, what really happened, what's going on, karmic agreements from past lifetimes. So a lot of times when we lose people like your son, and we cry and we're sad and we're hurt, and this is a big part of what's happening and why you ask for justice and why people ask for justice. And it's normal emotional feelings when we lose somebody, and it's really difficult, so my heart definitely goes out to you. I'm going to send you angels because justice is not really what we're looking for here. What you're looking for is healing. Because there's a lot of feelings of loss and anger and things that have to be worked out in you and in all of us when we go through this stuff, in all of us, emotionally, spiritually, physically, because it's a great loss. It's very, very difficult to lose our children or our child, whoever it is. Tough stuff. Really tough stuff. So this justice that you are seeking is not from the purest form of love. The best justice from this would truly be for you to work on healing this for you. If you need to, go see, you can see a counselor, you can work with me. I don't care, whoever you want to work on or work with, whatever you feel in your heart, ask love for the best person to assist you with this. Because getting these emotions out and these feelings, anger, rage, all of this, when people start to say, I need justice, this is what's coming in, all right? Because karma, love energy that is God, takes care of everything, right? So, but in our people spaces, we scream out, we want justice, and we have rage and we have hurt feelings, and I completely get that, and that's part of the process of losing people we love, and then having these traditional earth world beliefs and ways of being where we shouldn't be losing our children. We traditionally should be going after our children, right? Leaving the planet after our children. So there's lots of challenging things here for you with this. This is also why there's some challenges here for you to connect with what I'm saying. In time, you will, as you go on, just like you'll connect with all these energies, because right now there's a lot of rage and sadness and hurt and anger, and I totally get it. In fact, am I free to talk about this, Jen? Your baby? Yeah. My sister lost a son, and so this is, we get it, and I'm sorry, and so these are some of our greatest challenges, and your soul is super powerful and super strong and super filled with love, and you got this. And I'm going to ask God to pull all these things from you that are toxic, unhealthy, unwell, that are causing all this strife and difficult for you, all that is all of this, and to clear it, heal it, change it, be free of it if you so desire it, from love, and to give you the best solutions, the best ways to be, to give it to God, to give it to love, the best healing, the best of everything you need, the best connection to this feeling, releasing, healing, grieving, emotional balance from love, and all of this in the healthiest, best way, and to be free of all of this that is toxic in reference to this and unwell in any way, shape, or form to you and for you. Thank you, God, for us clearing, healing, changing, and releasing this from love, and putting love, the best way to be from love, in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is in place of this. And thank you, God, for that for us. Yeah. And so many blessings, girl. And if you need my assistance, please. And if you have more questions, let me know. But this energy of this emotional stuff is where it's so hard for us to connect to these things when this happened. But in time, as you heal, everything will change. And you could look at this a year from now. You could look at the show 5 minutes from now. You could look at the show 2 weeks from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now. Each time you will be in a different space of your healing. And that will open you up emotionally to hear these things, to see these things, to feel these things, and to release all of this, but to connect as well to everything that we're talking about right now. Okay? Yeah. Because that's how it works, with love. With love. All right. I wish you many awesome, awesome blessings. And if you need us here, we're here. Let us know. Okay? And any more questions, let us know. All right. So who's next?
Nikki has another question.
Nikki!
She said that she's been having trouble sleeping or falling back asleep when she wakes up. My gray cat, Mr. Snuggles, likes to sleep against me, and when he does, I fall asleep deeply. I know you've mentioned that pets share energy and help heal us. Is that what's going on, or do I just need cuddles to sleep? Thank you.
That's funny. Could you help me with that? Thanks. I don't know. It needs to be plugged in because it's not charging. Massive Mercury Retrograde technological problems with my phone. It's been on 29 like all day, or 20 or 17. I can't get the battery to charge. And this has happened multiple times before. Mercury Retrograde, technology and redos. So here we are experiencing that. Okay, Nikki, heard your question. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for sharing your stuff. And for coming tonight. We're having massive thunderstorms, so if we lose connection, lightning, thunder, rain, big shit out here. It's love energy cleansing the planet, man. And it's showing you the power of God every single time, right? Cool shit. Cool shit. Okay. Nikki, it's multiple things with your cat. It's multiple reasons why you're not sleeping. Multiple. Okay. It's okay. All right. I'm just going to do some sage. I like to sage every now and then because when I get into people's energies, I get the energy on me. It helps to clear the energy, get a better God connection. Excuse me. It helps me to feel the best I can feel as well. Gets the energy off of us. Sage, you can use Palo Santo, you can use California white sage like we do to get the energy off. You can use stones too. We work with stones a lot, different kinds of stones. You can use incenses, all to get the energy off of you. These are tools in physical earth world to help you get other people's energy off of you, as well as, especially when you do energy work and do readings and medium work like this, it helps to clear. You can also use essential oils for that as well. Frankincense and myrrh are some great oils. They're Christ energy oils that you can put on and use as well to clean your hands, right? So it just gives you like a fresh start and clears the energy as well. Very good for your soul and helps you to not take on other people's emotional stuff as well as physical as well. Really incredible neat stuff. So these are some tools in Earth World for our show tonight and for you guys to help and assist you. And you see me, I use them all the time. Okay, so Nicole, lots of stuff comes in with this. It's the energy of the times. It's the planet. It's your health. You're adjusting. You're healing. You're changing. You're growing. And it's kind of like growing pains, like a toddler who's teething. Sometimes you can't sleep. And we're all going through variations of all this. It's really incredible. All of us are going through variations of healing, both emotionally, physically, spiritually, and in all ways. Massive healing here. Massive. So your cat definitely helps with the energy. You love him. Just like, you guys all know my Daisy passed away, and we'll probably talk about that again on another day. However, I used to sleep with Daisy too, and Daisy was warm as anything in a cold winter night. It was the greatest. She was like a fucking furnace, man. But the problem with Daisy is Daisy took up the whole bed. So when you laid, and she was a basset hound, right? So when you laid with Daisy, you were laying on top of her, your leg was over her, but she was cool with that. She really was, and she wouldn't move. If anybody knows anything about basset hounds, right? They're amazing lovers, and what they like to do is lay around. They're like, yeah, this is my element. I'm like, talk about Mars and Cancer, right? What I wouldn't give sometimes to be a basset hound, right? And get that rest. So yes, I miss my Daisy, and yes, there are times where you're missing your cat when he doesn't come. So pray on it. Ask for the tools that you need to get the best night's sleep. There's a lot of holistic stuff that you can do as well. You can use also a number 12 cell salt too before you go to bed. That will also, because number 12 cell salt, homeopathic cell salt, is Silicea, I believe. And that's the 12th house. The 12th house is Pisces, and Pisces governs your sleep, your rest, your dreams, dreaming. Pretty cool shit. So I feel like if you take a little bit of that on your days, 4 little, what it says on the bottle, you know what I mean? Take a little dose of that, and it feels really good for you to get a good night's sleep. Now, it doesn't mean you do it all the time. You use these things when you're challenged, when you need them in acute situations. Sometimes you'll use cell salts, though, too, for long-term care. But again, do your research. Make sure that, you talk to God. Is this what's best for me? Remember, you're your own best health advocate, okay? All right. So that said, you can also use lavender oil, Nikki. I'm sure you know about that. But since you have a cat, you don't want to use too much of it. Not that, there's all these things about essential oils, and they're toxic for animals, or toxic for pets, or toxic for cats, right? But, there's a lot of truth in everything, all right? But not everything is the truth. So do your homework. Look into it. As if you use a little bit, it's not like using a ton. Animals are super sensitive to smells as it is, okay? However, lavender does come in for you for your best rest at night. You can do it in a diffuser, but you can also just put it on you. Do you know what I mean? Again, the brands that I like, that Universe guides me to for highest vibration. Young Living and doTERRA are 2 of those. It doesn't mean they're the only ones. But again, the old saying in Earth World is what? You get what you pay for the most part. There's exceptions to every rule. You want to know the best one for you? What do? You ask God for it. You ask love for it, right? Okay, so let me just ask what time we're at.
8:30.
Nikki said she hears the thunder and she loves it.
Oh, yeah, it's a great night. I love storms. I think that's the Scorpio in me. Ooh, my whole life has been about fuck storms, so it makes sense. This is a great storm. I fucking love storms, right? Okay, so we really connect with that transformation energy. It's awesome. It's awesome. Okay, so it's 8:30. We're going to go for about 15 minutes. We're trying to keep each show to, about an hour and a half. This way it doesn't get too long for you guys on here as well. Okay, any other questions? Any more questions coming up?
Not that I see right now.
Okay, and none for you, Jen?
No.
Okay, all right. So I have a great story for this week. I will probably tell it to you on Sunday at 7:15. If you guys do have more questions, please bring them here. I hope that, did I answer Nicole's question completely? I feel like I did. So. I gave her some solutions. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and it's multiple things that are going on there. Okay. But that said, I have a great story for you that has everything to do with our health, that can either go for Sunday night show, but it could also go for now, but it will take us over the 15 minutes. So I'm going to ask God what is best to do for right now. If I should go to the books, what are you guys feeling out there? What are they feeling? Anybody? Type in what you want to do. You want to hear the metaphysical story? That's crazy. It might go over time, but it goes with everything. But so do the cool books. The cool medical books are awesome as well. I've been guided too through my journey with my physical health and the physical health of my family over this COVID-19 time period. But even before, my whole life has been about a journey as a healer, as a God being, or God person, right? Or love energy person. It's been all about working with love, working with magic, working with God. So for this show, we also have these really cool books. So if you guys can tell me what you would like to know, do you want to go into the metaphysical story that I am going to share with you, or we'll share with you either tonight or tomorrow, because it's incredible stuff. But it shows you how the physical, right, the 12th house works with the 6th house when it comes to our health metaphysically and physically, as well as how energy from lifetimes manifests in this lifetime and can be stored and create physical unwellness, and is what is the word I'm looking for? Created in this reality by our souls until we heal it. Or until we heal it 5 lifetimes from now. However long it takes, right? However long. All right. So, anybody telling you guys? What do you got up there?
Nikki said she likes story time.
Me too, Nikki. I like story time too. Story time. All right. Anybody else out there? What is everybody else saying? Oh, wait a minute here. All right. All right, so story time it is. I think you guys were all here with me. I think, Nikki, you probably heard this story, so you sure you want to hear it again? For the most part, you heard it yesterday. I think it was yesterday at my class. Because what has happened is I'm going to re-talk about what happened the last several days about my health. And this is huge. This is probably going to run us over time, guys, so just letting you know. This story is another one of my profound stories that I had because my whole life is all about the metaphysical and the physical and everything that is God or love. My whole life is about that. So I have all kinds of really wild stories, everything from the ghosts getting in my car when I go into a house clearing to becoming really, really sick and wondering why I'm really sick and praying to God to change it. And that's what this is tonight for this medical intuitive gallery. So what happened is the last 3 or 4 days, during this time, and this goes back to the chapstick story with you too, Nick. So story time it is. What happened is the last 3 or 4 days I have been extremely sick. I go through phases with the illnesses that we have going on. I am not my illnesses. These are what we're working on healing, right? The symptoms and the unwellnesses that are going on in us because we're all being multiple poisoned. Okay, and it's crazy times. However, it is happening in the collective across the board for the majority of the people. However, it needs to happen, whether it's through inoculations or chemicals. This is the nature of the darkness that has been happening on Earth world. That said, I've been going through incredible, awful symptoms of basically a whole bunch of toxins in my body, with the main one, which universe tells me there's actually like 2 or 3, but there has to do with mold, it has to do with a bacterial infection, okay, and it has to do with 3 different forms of elements and then some of toxins within our bodies, because what happens when we become sick or unwell, we have layers of toxins that make us sick. Right? So this said, most of you know the story behind this, like this whole story. So I'm going to try to make this part of it, simple. Okay. So with this mold toxin stuff I got going on, what has happened is these last 3 or 4 days, I have been really super inflamed with sickness, right? In other words, I could barely move. My body has been burning. It's been on fire. The pain is so fucking bad for 3 days straight, on and off, right? And especially in like the middle of the night and in the evening. And when I first wake up, it's been a bear. And I just finally said to God the other day, I said, okay, God, I was like literally crying, and I said, and this is not the first time this has happened with this type of illnesses, when our immune system is down, and in these times, right, when we have these experiences, this is really difficult stuff, and we're all going through it. Scary times, right? So what do when you're challenged and when you're in massive pain? Whether it's emotional, physical, right? What do? You cry. And what do then? You ask God. You talk to God. That's exactly what I did. I said, okay, God. I said, I'm hurting so bad. I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore if I can't be free of this pain. It's massive pain. What is causing me this pain, this incredible pain that makes my kids cry when they see me like this? Tough shit. Really hard stuff, right? So after 3 days of this, and me being a complete rag ass with my family, I'm sure they're like over me, right? Because what happens when you're sick is you're not a happy camper, and you can be a little more rough than you usually are, right? Yeah. And that's for all of us, right? Some of us are better sick patients or unwell spaces than others, right? Depending on how much pain, how much suffering. Nobody likes pain. That's for sure. Okay. So I said to God, I said, I need to be free of this or I don't want to be on this planet anymore. And I said, and I really don't really want to leave, but I cannot exist in this because it was so painful. And, I hate to even say this in front of my children, but this is why also so many people want to leave when they become sick. They don't want to do it anymore. Everybody can relate to that, whether it's mental sickness, physical sickness. We get in these spaces and we're like, man, I had enough suffering. Don't want to do it anymore, right? Yeah. So, had some challenges these last few days because I really don't want to leave the planet. I love you guys. I love my life. I love my family. I love what we do, but it doesn't mean that I don't have challenges. So, the story I'm going to tell you, this is how it started, and I go through phases where I feel a little bit better, right? And then I go through phases where I feel awful, and this is the nature of the illnesses that are on the planet and that we are going through with all the sickness and stuff that's going on. So, to let you know, that's the truth of God and love. What's happening? All right, we are now living in a world where we are massively immune compromised and we don't have the best solutions and ways from the old world ways. And through this transformation, there's a lot of chaos and unwell that can't help us. So this is also why the best answer is always going to God, going to love, talking to love. And I said to God, okay, God, I need to be well. I said, what the hell? What do I got to do to change this? Because this is like I'm flaming on fire. And then, of course, there was something that did come in, right? We happened to buy some milk from the fucking Wawa. And I drank some of that milk, probably more than I should have. Every now and then we do shit like that, right? So I come to realize that it is the chemicals and the garbage and the shit that is in that milk where we normally have all holistic stuff, and also milk across the board. You want to make sure if you're going to drink it, just like anything and everything, not in, too much of an amount, but also the least amount of chemicals and stuff. As an overall rule, milk, dairy, right? Dairy stuff, you really got to pay attention. Same thing as with wheats and pastas and meats, just everything across the board. And processed food has been literally poisoned, is massively toxic. And you can look through the laws with the presidential stuff through the years, like with Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, with the stuff that they're now allowing into our food and shit. And it's not a good thing, but before I make any accusations that it was those two presidents, do your research, make sure that you look it up yourself, because there's a whole bunch of laws where our food system really has run amok, and now that the rules are changed, where there used to be some kind of code of ethics there, and it's gone, and it's been gone for years. Because I said to God, why did my father, whom I take after, and it says in my astrology chart, my father in terms of the most prominent figure when it comes to my health, it doesn't mean I don't have some of my mom's health stuff, because what you are is what you attract, and you are both of the energies of your parents, right? But then you're your own special energy within that space. That's you, your own special energy, right? So I said to God, how come my father, who was born in 1929, because the universe showed me all the bits and pieces of me living my life with my father from the time I was a child to the time we grew up and he passed away. And I remember bits and pieces of the same symptoms that he had that I'm having now. And universe and my soul, God and my soul, showed me where all these things connect. He would have a little bit of pain on his feet. He would ask me to take the sheets off his legs. He would get Charlie horses. He would have dry eyes. He would have problems with his eyes. He had issues with his teeth. He had issues with his eyes, right? So he would get headaches. He had issues with his sinuses. And what I realized later, like now, universe, God, my soul shows me how we are alike. And it's all in the astrology, right, as well. In our physical makeup, all right? And what my father is, my mother has a variation of the same thing, because like attracts like in the energies of all that is God. That's how they got together, right? Yeah, right? So what you are is what you attract, all right? So that said, the universe shows me where my dad has all these symptoms over here, and I said to myself, how come, and I said to God, in my highest heart self, how come my dad have all these things, but he's not sick like I am. I said, what the fuck is the difference here? What is the difference? And they said, your dad didn't live the life that you live where they poisoned all the food and there was all this chemical garbage and shit. He ate different things. This shows you how important our diet is. It's not necessarily the actual food. It's the processing, the garbage, the crap, the chemicals, the shit that they put in it. The Wawa milk versus milk that I buy on a farm naturally made is two different whole fucking stories, depending on so many different things, right? So what's happening is these hormones, and there's so much hormones in the plastics, in the milks, in the meats. And that's what's making me on fire in my physical reality, right? Crazy shit. Crazy shit. But it gets better. Because now we're going to talk about the metaphysical aspects of this, because this is really insane. So my father basically wasn't poisoned for as long as, let's say, I was, or in the same ways. Born in 1929, that makes sense. They had whole foods back then. You know, they ate meat and potatoes, and yeah, they had heart disease, but they didn't have all the crazy shit they got going on now like they do now. Make no bones about it. Yes, there was sickness. Absolutely. But we are living in a whole different world now with far more toxins, and this has been going on for a long time. And I cannot stress to you guys how important it is for your health. Whole foods, real foods, and into the future. We will be going with farms. We will going with, and they're already trying to destroy the farms and tell you that synthetic meat. Oh my God. Like, I just can't even believe that they could even, that anyone could even hear them say that. It's so insane, right? Yeah, absolutely not. There's going to be farms and people, and we're going to come together with real whole foods. And this is the new world, the new market, the new trade, and it's always been that way since the beginning of time. So when they tell you that, they're going to be taking, and they're working on it, they're buying up the farmland so that you can't make food, and they're going to do all kinds of crazy shit, right? However, you work with God and you'll have all the solutions you need to beat this shit. But I'm telling you this now, so you know, just like the chapstick that Nikki bought, and this is why we're talking about this, is so important, because there's so much chemicals and crap and garbage and toxic that we aren't even aware of in our foods. The more whole the food, the more fruits and vegetables we eat, the less processed stuff we eat, because the better for us and the more natural by far. Because food is your nutrition. Food is your medicine. It's your primary first medicine of all that is God, that is love. Plants, right? Think about this. Okay? So, this goes hand in hand with what happened to me metaphysically as well. Okay? So I'm having this massive burning, and what's crazy is in my physical health and in my astrology chart, it says that I'm challenged in healing myself because my Chiron is in Pisces. I'm a master healer. I can heal the whole fucking world. The challenge, and I know people like Sarah Sutra, we've talked about this before for her, is that in healing me, right? And nobody else out here in Earth world. That's why we went to all the doctors, and all my life it's been like that. It has always been working with God or love to get the answers for me to heal me, okay? And to work on my gifts, right? And advance my gifts, basically my life schooling, to learn how to be the best healer I could be. But it literally says in my astrology chart that no one will be able to heal me. It is me who must heal myself. How fucked up is that? Great day. Just give me the fucking pill and make me better, God. I'm like, are you kidding me? Right? That's how we feel in Earth world. We go to the doctor, we want medicine, but that world is gone, and that's okay. However, it has been a challenge all of my life with this stuff. And then I'm predestined in my chart as well. In other words, it's already in my family lineage, in my soul from lifetimes, that I have a propensity to be poisoned. My dad died of septicemia in the hospital. And I knew he was sick well before then. And I tried to tell him, and that's another story for another day. But there's my proof in Earth World that he was poisoned. And the same thing is in the family lineage energy for me, which is why I am sick now and poisoned. Same thing is true for anybody in my family. There's a great propensity to have that in them. Now, of course, it depends on so many different factors and energies in your chart, but this is truth of God, and this is why it's called 6 and 12 medical intuitive, because your astrology has so many answers that they're never going to get as doctors here in Earth World. And astrology used to be the OG medicine format. Yeah, from way back when, right? Really wicked, cool stuff. So you could find out so many things, just like we've talked about in the past, the moon, how the moon cycles, the eclipses, everything is energy of God, and astrology is a formula to help you understand what gets triggered, what is going on in you, everything about you that brings this right here into Saturn's Earth World, so you can understand it and utilize all the tools of God in a different way through astrology and working with God astrology, to get the God's honest truth of the best answers for your best healing, your best wellness across the board. And this is for what? All of us, right? Yeah, all of us. Incredible, incredible magic, incredible gifts and tools. So we are really, fooling ourselves, right? Or not able to see all the solutions and all the magic of God that is in our realities to help us. And astrology is a master formula of God. In fact, it is my favorite all-time one. Anything and everything astrology, and numerology as well, right? I love these and everything is God tools. Everything. But my primary favorite all-time one is all different forms of astrology. And because it's super fucking magic. It's incredible. It helps you realize, it puts the scientific behind everything I'm saying, right? Because basically I do the scientific God thing. We learned that. We learned that through Aquarius in the 12th house. Which is also part of the story I'm going to tell you tonight, if we have the time. What time is it?
8:50.
Okay. So as long as you guys are cool, I'm going to continue to go on. If you're tired, you can go, and I totally get it. You can watch our replays on YouTube. It might take us a little while because it takes a bit to get it downloaded, but you can always come back here on Facebook and find our lives as well. We keep them up as long as possible, but we're going to work on getting a disc so that we can send them to you if you want to hang on to our lives and watch them on your own TV. What a fucking riot that would be, wouldn't it? Pretty cool shit. Just the world is so neat. Technology is incredible when it's used for the right reasons, from love, and with the best intent, right? Yeah. Okay, so that said, I'm going to bring you back to what I'm talking about now metaphysically, that has everything to do with this Aquarius in the 12th house. Some of you may already know this because you were in my personal class yesterday, and we talked about this because all that I'm telling you now just happened yesterday. So what happens is I'm in all that pain, I'm crying, I'm talking to God, and I'm saying, God, let me be free of this. Let me be free of this, or I can't stay here. I need to know God's honest truth. And they told me about the milk in Earth World and how I need to be aware of what's going on with the dairy products that I eat as well. Not just the pastas, not just the breads, not just the sugars, not just the sweets. This, because it is the hormonal chemicals, and it's the very same hormonal chemicals that has really been part of the grand plan and design on a subconscious Luciferian darkness level that has changed men into women in these days and times. This is why there are very few old world men, because there's so many hormones and chemicals and plastics and foods and all of that. And this is why we're having so much of the problem with the BT, what do they call that? What is the name of that? LGBTQ. I think that's how you say it. Anyways, but that's part of the problem. Why there's so many disconnects in our sexuality, and men are trying to be women and women are trying to be men, and there's all kinds of variations of that. This is all related to that. This is what universe is showing us, showing me to share with you. But doesn't that make sense? Yeah. Crazy, creepy shit. But that's all part of the grand design, to destroy us through poisons. Crazy shit. And the scary thing is nobody even realizes this is happening. So be aware what you're eating, Do the research. Anytime you can, grow your own food. For sure, if you can. But in the future, this is where we're going we're going back. While everybody thinks we're going forward, we're going back into our hearts, back into authenticity, back into the real world, back into real food, back to real authentic love. Yeah. Right. All right. And so to speak, back to God, because they've totally lost it out here. Back to love. Totally lost all of that. Right. Yeah. It's like darkness is the new fad. I'm like, oh yeah, yuck. Oh my God, crazy shit. Okay, so that said, I'm doing this crying. I ask God, they show me where the milk products that I got are fucking me up. I'm flaming. I'm talking about flaming in my lymphatic system all over my body, and it's on the right side. Serious ass. Couldn't move my hand. I'm still having issues. Like I said, we're still working on my stuff. And this is all part of my learning, so I can share this wisdom through my earthworld schooling of pain and suffering and earthworld experience. But my soul is quite a jackass. It's like, yeah, we're going to do this, and it wants to do this, right? It came in here, right? It's a little bit crazy, right? Because who would want to go through all of this? Part of my destiny, part of my healing, part of my soul's journey, all the layers of love energy that is God, that is me. This is all part of my journey. Sometimes I like it better than others. Sometimes I don't like it so much, but that's all of us. And what do? I work with God to change it. I work with God to heal it. I work with God for all my gifts and tools to be free of anything toxic to me, to have the best tools, to have the best gifts, to have the best ways to deal with it. Absolutely. So this said, I got up in the morning. I was sitting down with my family having breakfast. And I'm kind of quiet because I'm in miserable amounts of pain. I got my lovely heating pad, this is it, my lovely heating pad that my beautiful healer sister made for me, that we sell at Shoppe and Center, okay? We sell them there, right? Nothing like love making stuff. Okay? So I'm sitting there at breakfast. I got my heating pad. It's on my foot, on my feet, because it's like my feet are on fire and the pain is so incredible. And so I said to God, and I pick up my astrology dice, and I go like this. Remember my astrology dice? I have a whole bunch of them. These are my glass ones. They're my favorites. I have like about, I don't know how many. I think 9. And I take them, and I said to God, God, what is it metaphysically that I gotta heal? What is it in me that is causing all this pain? What is it in me? And I take those dice. I said, let me be free of it. Let me know it now, please. And I roll those dice, and I get Aquarius in the 12th house. And I'm like, motherfucker. Aquarius in the 12th house. And I was busy all day. And then I went to deliver my rent check. And my daughter Sophia is riding with me. And then I remembered that I asked God for these answers, and I kept those placements in here because I asked God to remember those placements to do the research on this, because I asked God for the answer of what in here is causing all of this to happen in me. And Sophia was with me, and I said, Sophia, look up all these placements. And we looked up all the placements of Aquarius and Pisces. All right. So this is Aquarius, the sign of Aquarius in the 12th house. And I'm saying to myself, I don't really technically have that in my chart, in my astrology chart, right? And then God says to me, oh yeah, you do. It's not literally like you think it is, all right? So I have Uranus in my 9th house opposite my 3rd house. My 3rd house is in Pisces. My Uranus is conjunct my Pluto, and many of you won't even know what I'm talking about, right? But I'm going to tell you this anyways, guided by a higher knowing, and in time, as we learn together and keep on going down this road, you will know what we're talking about. And it is in opposition of my Saturn in retrograde, my Black Moon Lilith, and my Chiron in the 3rd house in my chart, right? And this is the equivalent of that Aquarius in the 12th house. Your 12th house is your Pisces. It is what? Your past lives. So Sophia starts whipping down the readings in the car, and we're working together, right, Soph? Yeah. And we're working together to get these answers with God. And so we look up the Pisces in the 12th house, and it says that I was burnt to death, right? And what did it say? In front of in a past lifetime, I died an incredibly horrific death, right? I think it was, and what I picked up on is from a past lifetime that somebody else told me. So the dice is the tool in Earth world by asking and working with God to get me to these answers, right? Sophia is my assistant and helps me in this moment and helps me to pull these out of our great phone. I don't know where my phone is, but it's over there now, right? So my phone, all right, we do the research through Google, right? Get these answers. As we're pulling this up in Earth World, all the aspects of Aquarius and Pisces through different astrologers, all this information starts flooding in from God in my soul. And I remember that I had somebody tell me that I was burned to death at the stake as a child when I was 12 years old. And it was in front of like hundreds of thousands of people, because my destiny, right, in that lifetime was to do and change the world on a high-end spiritual level. That's Aquarius in Pisces, okay, however it gets done. And it talks about this, right? Universe guides me to this energy. And what happens is I'm getting these visions of this happening, but I'm totally disconnected from it. I'm totally disconnected. And I'm like, okay, God, how do I handle this? What is coming in here? And I realize that all of this is connected to the astrology. Okay? Incredible stuff. And all of a sudden, all my past life shit starts coming out of my soul. And I'm like, holy shit. Okay? And I realize so many different things with this placement. But on this note, I'm being guided by higher power to stop here so we don't go on for another half an hour. They're telling me, this is a lot for you, Lynn, now. You got to take a break now. And I'm like, okay, don't want to not listen to universe. So on Sunday night or next week at our medical intuitive, I'll ask God what is best. It'll probably be in the medical intuitive. We will continue the rest of the story because it's incredible. So by rolling those dice, talking to God, my physical symptoms, hook into my metaphysical, I bring this to earth world reality by what I do. And everything comes together. And next week on our show, because it's getting really late and it's a lot for me to channel all of this, okay? And I'm being guided by higher knowing to do the rest of this for next week on our medical intuitive, because I like to keep the same shows with the same shows so you guys don't get all confused, and neither do I. So they're being guided for me to tell you the rest of the story. So in a past life, I was a little girl who was 12 years old, and I had a spiritual calling. The 12 is the number 3, which is also my third house, which is the number of active God, which is about communication, listening, thinking, right? And Pisces thinking would be about the 12th house being high-end metaphysical thinker, wisdom space. But the 12th house is about your past lives, all right? And so all of this is interconnected with why I am sick and being burned to death. Right? I never got to truly step into my power, and my whole right side of my body, because I was burned to death, is now on fire because of this repressed energy of the fear in me and all this energy that goes with this lifetime and lifetimes before this brought out into this reality in my physical body through the burning of this energy and all the pains and the inability to move forward in my physical body. Right? Crazy shit. Because your right side is your masculine space and it is your power energy. So my sickness, crazy shit, is not just through my whole body, but the massive amount of it, it's like my body is split and my power energy is my masculine energy, is my right side. And this has everything to do with me needing to heal this so I can step into my power. But it's physically burning me up, making me sick, making me immobile. Crazy shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So when anybody tells you that kind of shit is bullshit, oh no. Like I know some holistic healers are like, everything is emotional and it's in this life. Well, yeah, it is in this life, but it has everything to do with every past life, all your PTSD, all your shit that you carry from the beginning of time, that is you, that is your space of God, that is your portal of God, that is your soul. And when it comes into whatever lifetime it comes into, it needs to heal this shit. That's why it does this stuff. This is why my soul is so stubborn that it's physically so super painful, because that's how painful this was in my heart to me. It literally crushed my inner child. I had an astrology reading done by somebody years ago, and they said to me, oh, this is really strange. Your inner child is like, it's a beast. It's like somebody who just wants to work and has a mission, and it doesn't play, and it's not really a child at all. And I went, huh, but now I know that's because being burned at the stake in this lifetime destroyed my inner child. Crazy shit, right? And in this lifetime here now, in the experiences that I had with my mom, God bless her, right? Because this was called in by my soul. Right? Through incredible verbal and physical abuse, right? Sometimes that verbal abuse in this lifetime, because my soul created it out here, smashing yet again my inner child. You look ugly in that, Lynn. You're fat. You're disgusting. Why would you ever want to be that? You're hideous. And this bashing would go on for days, hours, months, weeks. I shit you not. Because at that time, my mother was very, very sick. But then again, so was I. My soul is creating this. What happens? My soul buries it. I'm not allowed to be my own person, a child, when I'm little, right? I'm not allowed to be that person through all this abuse yet again. In this lifetime, I can't fully live my dreams. I can't do anything for me, because everything I want to do gets bashed down, burned up, destroyed, annihilated. You suck, Lynn. You suck. And I'm like bawling my eyes out, right? Who wouldn't be, right? Crazy shit. Crazy shit. So this energy from our past lifetimes, right, remanifests in this one. And how do we find it? By talking to God, working with astrology, working with these earth world tools to release this. Wild shit. This is how earth world and metaphysical work in balance together. But ultimately, the power source here is love. So, that said, all these blessings, amazing, incredible shit, right? What happens is, they're telling me I need to quit. Okay, so that said, I was going to get into it more, but I'm going to share that with you and leave you at that. But I am going to tell you how everything hooks up as a metaphysical from lifetimes into this world, into my reality here, right, of all the issues and deficits in my life and how they hook up right into this to show you these answers so you can see how this works in your reality through my experiences. And we're going to do that next Friday, 7:15, with all of our questions and all of our stuff. Incredible stuff though, huh guys? Thank you so much for coming. If you can donate too, we'll see you in a couple days, Sunday night at 7:15 for our live talk forum. And thanks for being patient with me. And thanks for waiting. Till next time. Love you guys. Bye-bye.